Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo Channel. I'm jumping on a few minutes early because it got done early and I'm not just going to sit 5 minutes staring at a screen. It doesn't make any sense. You know, us Virgos like to be on time or early. It's just because we like to be prepared. That's what it is. And then if we actually sit too long, we begin to get anxiety. Because we'll overthink because we're perfectionists. It's a good trait because it makes us excel in our work. However, a lot of people could get triggered by it because they're like, "What are you always at work? Why don't you take a break? Why don't you do something else?" It's that polished. Virgos have polish and it intimidates people and we don't really realize it. And if you're a pretty Virgo or a good looking Virgo, oh, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. It's because Virgos are sensitive, but they don't like to show their emotion. It's like we will show it like if you're in our our circle per se, but we're not just gonna show our emotion. So it seems like things don't bother us. It seems like things are easier for us, where that's not really true. It's that if anything, it's harder if you overthink. So the energy there is a little bit like there's some a little bit overthinking. You know, I don't know what that's going to have to do with the reading, but again, I never know how my readings are going to start or what spirit's going to talk about. Now, for those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Laura, and obviously I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed, interpret the message as it best resonates. Also know that I like to dive deep within the reading, so I do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play it as karmic themes. And the reason why is because a lot of times it's not about whether this person has feelings. Who fucking cares if the person has feelings? If it looks bad. If it looks bad or if it's going to make us look bad. I mean, karmic relationships means learn, and it means if it's a past life karmic mate, the reason why that type of relationship is so bad is because you incarnated with that person 100 other lifetimes and still have not learned the lesson. It's the same lesson. It's just played out with a different scenario, and that's what you wind up living too when you, not just within attracting that karmic, but within your own life when things are off within your own life, how you sabotage yourself. That's how we, know we have spiritual blocks. It's like, oh, that was so stupid. Why didn't I? It's that. And it doesn't mean that you're not smart. I knew people that skipped grades in school that were brilliant and they couldn't make their life work. Spiritual blocks are psychological and emotional, held in the body as stress. It's what becomes your energy vibration. So when you say, I'm not like that person, why? What is God? The other day I read God's a narcissist. Someone wrote that. I don't know whether it was on the Virgo channel or the Scorpio channel, but someone wrote that. And I'm like, that's the most ridiculous thing that I have heard. Because God is just the energy of the universe. God's ubiquitous. And it's the energy that's inside of you. You have supernatural power. It's the deity part of self. The deity part of self is the God part of self that you and I are connected to right now. It doesn't logically make sense. It just is a feeling. It's a knowing. It's a higher knowledge and wisdom. So when you actually see your soulmate, past life, karmic mate, whatever type of soulmate, really, it's like, oh, like that person feels familiar. Oh, it just is so easy. Oh, it just feels, it's an energy. It's like the spiritual realm is how everything is manifested and is manifested within the subconscious mind. So we can look at the behaviorism in order to see what's going on in the subconscious mind. And what's really great is once you integrate the spiritual lesson, you can quantum jump into the reality that you want to experience. And this person that you may be connected to you may not wind up being able to be actually in a relationship with that person because they might be just so, spiritually blocked, but you influence that person. You change that person. Yeah, you don't see it, but understand you'll feel it. And also, you'll become a magnet for the same type of energy that you desire, not the wounds of the past. We know we're spiritually blocked when we keep reliving the same experience and we're in a karmic loop. Karmic loops turn into karmic contracts. Karmic contracts bind you to the spiritual experience, which is a psychological and emotional experience that was traumatic. So relationships fall into that category. So you're not a bad person. God doesn't make bad. You're perfect. Even if you say, oh, that person's born with one arm, they're born with one leg, the spirit will always say that's the way that they were supposed to be born. That was their spiritual path. To learn how to master that, who are you to judge? Who are you to judge? And God says, I don't make broken. It's like you perceiving you're broken is the problem because I'm inside of you as a gifted spirit that gives you supernatural powers to be able to quantum jump into the reality that you want to experience. So, spiritual issues are shadows. Shadows produce the psychological and emotional imbalances that turn into those habits and behaviorisms that are what's blocking the entire relationship, or whether you're trying to obtain money, whatever the spiritual block is. So understand, if something's not working in your life, you're not broken. You're just going about it the wrong way. And that's the answer. And you say, well, what's the point? Well, we're down here to learn we're not separate from God through seeing our life through all different perceptions. You're stuck, you're blocked in a perception of limitation, which is what's manifesting. So we have to understand, number one, that's why things are happening. In order to transmute the spiritual block, you have to bypass the reptilian mind. That's what we just did. We bypassed the reptilian mind because the reptilian mind is a survival mind that says, I'm not going to change any of these behaviorisms. And I'm going to tell you why. Life works. Life works when I'm drunk. I'm the life of the party. Everyone's beautiful. Nothing bothers me. I don't feel anything. So life works. But the behaviorism, just the same as, just the same as everything that we see within the world that we create. It's where we're putting our time, our energy, our focus, and our money. Remember that. You're the magician. The magician has all the tools it needs. You see it. He's got pentacles. He's got the swords. He's got it all. And that's you. And Spirit says, it's again, you're looking for something outside of you a lot of times. So you have to replace the spiritual block with something. So we're going to see what the spiritual block is, obviously. And then we're going to see how to integrate the spiritual lesson, because it wouldn't be a healing channel and you wouldn't learn how to heal yourself of the effects of trauma if there's no ending. The Spirit says you can get it and evolve into a higher state of consciousness at any given time. Again, there's many different realities that play it at one time. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you obviously have to get a shadow reading. You have to get it. That's the reading. And so I'm not picking on you. I got yelled at one day. I was doing a reading the other day for a lady, and she's like, I can't take it. I can't take it. I feel like you're picking at me. I said, lady, I have an hour. It's like, I'm not going to tell you about all the great things that you've done. It's like, I have to tell you what's blocking you. It's not a blame game, but just that alone. The person's like, resistance, the trigger, but I have to do my job. I have to pay you. You paid me for a service, so I have to do it regardless of whether you like it or not. The art of transmutation is taking that negative energy that you think is gone, but it comes out within your behaviorisms and it turns into cancer. Yeah, turns into cancer and other imbalances that bring you to pain and suffering. So yeah, I have to tell you the truth. I have to, and then because healing doesn't feel good. Remember that it doesn't. So you got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. And then you also have to like the video and subscribe to the channel because that's just good karma. And you won't be alerted if you're the winner. And then you have to email me. We have to figure out the day and time that works best for the both of us. And what channel you found me on. Please, 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 what channel you found me on. And if you want your reading private, because it's not private, it's always done live through YouTube, you can send me your questions the day before. So I'll never say your name anyway. All right, now the word of the video is the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. We see impatient. Ooh, I feel like someone's getting paranoid. Someone's getting paranoid, and it's because you're not saying anything. You didn't say anything. See, this person loves drama. They love drama. So you're connected to someone that's like saying, wait a minute, like it's taken a little bit too long. You would have came back by now. Like I'm starting to like realize that you're not there. You're not there. Like you're not right where I left you. It's like, and I feel like the more that time goes by, the more anxiety this person gets. So they're getting impatient. There's someone that doesn't normally get impatient, but I feel like it's just you're not saying anything. You're not giving this person anything, nothing, zero, zilcholo. I don't know if that's a word, but it sounds good. All right, now I'm going to see. I want to pull another card, but you don't have to write this card in, but it's going to go along with this underlining energy. Give us a little bit more insight into like what's going on. It's funny. I feel like this card, like you see how it's swirling into the third eye. I feel like people get impatient. What happens? They get more paranoid, fantasizing. Like that's what I felt like. This person's imagining like the worst. You know what I mean? So they went from toying with you and fantasizing that, you're going to be so hurt. You're going to be so distraught that you were going to come chasing after them. You were going to nurture them because I feel like you are someone that nurtures this person because there is a spiritual connection. It's not like there isn't. So they just, in their mind, saw you acting a certain way, and now they're fantasizing that the worst, and that's why they're getting more and more impatient. So let's see what they did in order for them to be nervous, because why would they be nervous? Well, didn't treat you so well. Didn't treat you so well. I see who you are. I always saw who you are, but I kind of didn't think that you saw who you are. Is what I think of this person. That's always one element, whether the cards tell it or not. It's always one element. I don't think you know your worth. I obviously wouldn't be with you if I didn't know your worth. However, I don't want to do anything. So I can keep this going if you don't know your worth. So understand that. So that's always an element. And like this person, no emotional space available. But the problem is, it's like they're consumed. They want you to be consumed with them, but they're consumed with all their drama that they like to create. And they like to create drama because of their moods. They're not balanced. When we're balanced, we're like actually in our body, and we're giving the majority of time of what that we're connected in life. We're giving, we're being of service, we're doing something, we're connected to other people emotionally. This person has bullshit relationships. They're not real relationships. However, they know darn well that whoever they're talking to is building an emotional connection to them. So I feel like they tend to like breadcrumb, 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 but they breadcrumb amongst like a lot of different people. And this is why it creates intense, overwhelming energy, because now you're dealing with 5 or 6 different people that all think that they're dating this one person. And this person is acting like that they don't really know. And again, they play a lot of games. So it's again, it almost looks like fire in the background. You see that? And this is someone that really um, is a selfish human being. It's like because they're toying with people. They want to seem like they're superior. But I understand they're feeling like that's coming from a place of lack. Because people don't need to be superior. If if they didn't feel so bad about themselves, they also wouldn't be doing that, creating so much drama that everyone's consumed by it, becoming paranoid like them. It's like, well, this is why this person is getting impatient now, because they see what they did. It's again acting superior, which means not being transparent with you, leaving information out, just manipulating, sometimes feeling like there was really a connection, and other times like not, like moody, like you could feel it. And this is all little games that this person does to pull back, and then to like give, but then to pull back so that you continually like are on edge. It's a psychological manipulation. It's all about them deceiving, like you don't know like why they're trying to get over on you or what it is. And part of it is that this person doesn't feel safe. They don't feel safe in themselves. They don't like who they are. This is a person that really is I would say on the lowest vibration. Someone that wants you to be consumed with them, so their ego is so blown out of proportion. They're someone that's extremely controlling, but it all comes down to the fact that they're really insecure. But that doesn't give them a pass. We look at the spiritual blocks and the psychological blocks on them not to give them a pass, but to look at things from a higher perspective. So you could say that person really just, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with them. I noticed their spirit. I noticed the love, the unconditional love. That's God. That's that energy. I noticed that. So, because everybody has that in them. But the karmic here is someone that you don't know that there is also, have this many spiritual blocks. You didn't know that they were on such a low vibration because you recognized that God part of self. So then when it's in a relationship like this, understand we definitely need to look at your spiritual blocks, because that type of energy will fragment, because they did so many different things. That meaning I don't even remember. I got out of the relationship and I didn't know whether I was coming or going, and I just met myself on the way back, because it's like I'm like all like, you're going to feel like that. And that's what they want. Makes it easy to control, to manipulate. And this is what makes it's like toying. It's very toying. Yeah, so earth angels understand, will attract this type of energy. Again, exhibit this. So again, this person that needs to get attention all the time. And again, what this says is people love the real you. If this person didn't have all these behaviorisms and habits and all that, the real you is from the higher self. We're born into this life and we inherit karma. And that's collectively through our ancestors, through everything. And so needing to be the center of attention is an exhibit. So if you are like someone that is gets any attention at all, well, that's going to trigger this person. This person needs the attention. It's like they need the constant validation. And so what they do is they create the environment. They manipulate the environment so that that's what they see, so that they can live that reality. However, it's not built on truth. And know this, that anything that's not built on truth doesn't last, because the universe says, that's not my energy. That's not my energy. And it'll wipe it out. It always does. Sometimes you're like, well, it takes a long time. It does. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So this is someone that was doing this to 6 people at a time, 5 people at a time. Like their ego was out of hand. So that's a lot of people, and it was probably going on for a lot of time. But understand, everybody was knowing who they were the whole time. They're manifesting at that time. This is where the bad karma comes from. It's a long time of just bad behavior, and instead of fixing it, it's like they will just be like an energy vampire, and then just acting like they don't really care for you, like aloof, like nothing bothers me, everything is okay. It's like almost like they have to create this persona that they're so cool. I'm so cool. I'm successful. And real life isn't like that. Real life is sloppy. It's messy. It's not perfect. Trust me. It's like you do the best that you can. You show up and you do the best that you can. It's like this person again, doesn't know how to be. And so we can assume that they were brought up in an environment that told them to act a certain way. We don't just get that behaviorism. We get that from not feeling comfortable to unfold properly. So, everything happens for a reason. Still doesn't give the person a reason. But if that's the environment that you grew up in, it's like being brought up in an environment that teaches hate. That's all that person really knows. So they don't think that it's bad that they go into school and they smack someone across the face, or like worse yet, shoot somebody. You know what I mean? It's like they don't feel bad because of what they were taught. There's no conscience. It's like, and that's just broken. But this person, like, just when you were with them or hanging out with them, it's like they made a lot of promises, but they never kept them. And so in a way, were they trying to break your heart? Well, it's like, I feel like they were trying to like hurt you. But what makes me feel like it's not just the heart, it's the spirit that they were trying to break. It's the essence of you. You ever notice a person that gets out of a relationship with someone that they thought that they were someone else? What that looks like, what that person looks like? It's like, if a person is good, not by their actions, not by what they say, but by the people that surround them, the people that are in their everyday life. Look how happy they are. That will tell you this person, again, is broken. Obviously didn't want you to see that. So, but they wanted you to still stay connected to them, which is why that's how it would break your spirit. Like, oh, like making you feel bad, but will only work. Despina, I'm sorry that is. I'm hoping I'm saying that's your name proper. And thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, everybody. And TM, I forget to look at the comments. Because, conquest. This is what I'm talking about. See, the conquest. The conquest is like just another one. Just another one. And what's messed up is that on a spiritual connection, there could really be a connection and this person really be in fantasy land. Because when a person creates a lot of drama like this, it doesn't feel good over time because of what's produced. You can't stay like that. It's not healthy either. You usually see a lot of heart problems in people that live like this. It's because the heart's not open. We're here to be the expression of love by giving and receiving of love. That's how we do it, and by connecting so deeply with other people through the things that we love. So, all of us here on the channel, that's what we're doing right now. We're sharing our energy. And instead, this person wanted to make you feel alone. Because obviously, if they're running around with other people, they're saying that they have to work, they're making excuses, they're lying. Like that's what it felt like to you. And then again, like grieving, it didn't work out the way that you imagined. I feel like that's where they are now, believe it or not. It's like they're grieving because they thought that they were going to be too big to fail, you know? I'm too big to fail because, hey, I'm just like running around here. Everybody thinks I'm desirable. Everybody thinks that I'm great. It's eventually they don't realize that people are watching them. You don't get second chances when you do stuff like that. It's like because it's such a violation. It's such a mistrust. So we are, even though this person is the way that they are, there's still an ego part of ourselves. And we always want to know, are they suffering? like, are they suffering without me? Who are they with now? Like, it's like we always want to, because we want to know, because we gave. If you gave to this, then understand it would be normal for you to be like, I still want to know. It's how much you give, which is the whole reason why they do this. It's so that you will be like linger on, so that they can come back and then throw you a freaking breadcrumb, and that you're going to be so grateful for that breadcrumb. It creates the illusion, this grandiose illusion that I'm superior. I'm superior, like almost like a king, you know, where it's like, no, no, you know, after a while, that's you live in an illusion. You a fantasy, like you're fantasizing. Your life was not grounded at all. The people see what you do. People see what you do. The consequences are there. So you can you know you're going to see victim. You know you're going to see victim in one of these cards, because it's like there's always like a shock and a victim, because the bigger they are, the harder they fall. But oh, how the mighty try and hold on. And it's like they're going to, you know, try and resist it at first. We must remember that we are gods and goddess and work to embody that energy. It really is like spirits, like it's a low energy. This person isn't a spiritual person. So they wouldn't even know where to begin. I don't even know how to rectify. So it's almost like it's okay that I've been living like this because I don't know any other way. Where it's like you want to stay ignorant, it doesn't matter. It's like you don't get a free pass because you want to stay ignorant. It's like where embodying the energy of God is of love. It's of all the higher states of consciousness, which is I forgive you. I can forgive you, but you are not coming back into my life. I can, you know, be compassionate because again, you were brought up in a family that did, again, we're going to look and see why, but it's like because of A, B, and C, we can have compassion, but we need to stay balanced. We need to get back to balance if we dealt with this energy. Because if you're not balanced, your reptilian mind is going to wander back to that person, be like, why am I still connected to this person? And the reason why is because they gave a little bit of passion and there's nothing to replace it. So without transmuting that negative energy, you'll always have a little bit of a cord. You have to transmute the energy. That's why a lot of people say, why? Clear the illusions of the 3D world. Don't take everything at face value. There's a lot more going on spiritually and energetically than you can see. So you're dealing with somebody that is, again, creating the illusion like they don't care, that their life is great, that their life is, but what's underneath the surface is not that, because the universe always collects its due. So it's like slowly, but slowly, this person is seeing the life that they had collapsed because it was not built on truth. It was not built on God's laws, which is the laws of love, the laws of nature, the laws of the universe. It's again, they're all the same thing. So if you're out of alignment, it's not going to be strong, and everything needs to be strong. It's not built on truth. So what happens is the mask comes off. It's like a public shaming almost. And it's because look how many people that you did this to. Look how many people that you did this to. And if you're connected to this person, like you were like living with this person, or like were engaged with this person, or married to this person, or had some sort of connection, and they were doing that, then it's again, it's everybody. It's everybody that's looking at this person like, which is their biggest fear. Their biggest fear. Our energy is stagnant, obviously, because they're not doing anything. Triggers sometimes happen to break the stagnancy and help the energy flow again. So it's almost like this person is trying to figure out how to get back into your life because you're not doing anything. You're not doing nothing. You're not doing nada, zero, zilch. You're quiet. This person can still feel your energy, but you're quiet, and them not knowing one way or the other. Well, do you care? Do you not care? Do you care? Do you not care? What do you know? What don't you know? You know, it's like all that is freaking them out. So there's a sense of, you know, like that's spiritually, like they're starting to, like it's starting to seep in, like they're starting to get the feeling like things don't feel right. And so it's almost like they don't want to seem vulnerable. So this person is coming up with a master plan. It's a real good master plan. You know what that master plan is? To come in and maybe start an argument because energy is stagnant. So triggers happen to break the stagnancy and help the energy flow again. It's like that's what this person. So if this person comes into your life, either tries to bump into you, tries to give them nothing. Give them nothing. It's like because it's what's killing them. Don't react. Remember, that's what they want. Treat this person like they are like a 2-year-old that like is in a candy store and is having a temper tantrum. They're like, I want more candy. And you already bought them like a candy bar and you're like, no, I can't do that. You have to treat them. So when a kid will scream and yell, if you ever notice like parents, like the ones that are like strong within themselves and don't care about what, you know, everybody else is thinking, they'll just look at their child like, okay, I see that you're upset. Okay. Well, it's time to get up from the floor. No, you cannot get another candy bar. Well, it was, you know, I mean, you have to be, you can be nicer. Like, well, oh yeah, really great to see you. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think so. Oh, I'm so busy. It's like, give them nothing. Give them nothing. It's like, it'll kill them because it's their own mind. It's their own consciousness because it's the God that's inside of them because everyone has a deity part of self. Everybody wants love. That's why this person's like, I need to get the spotlight. I need to be the exhibitionist. I finally said the word right. I couldn't say it before. It's like, I want that energy. It's like they want that, but it's counterfeit. You don't think people can see what you do? It's like, and now like their world is closing in. That's what the issue is. Their world is slowly closing in. I feel like I don't deserve your love. I'm worried you'll leave me when you see who I really am. So again, this comes down to it. So this is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with someone that needs a lot of healing. It's like, well, no one's going to like that. So it's like, so no one's going to like who I am. So I might as well, really make it so no one will like me. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, and it's because understand when a person feels this way, they have a very bad root chakra imbalance. And that root chakra imbalance is what connects us to the adrenals, which is the fight, flight, freeze. Our nervous system, again, is the spiritual body, part of the spiritual body. So when the person gets triggered, which is all the time, because they feel inadequate, it's just easier for them to create the persona, to live from that persona. But they're living in the addictions. They're living out of balance. They're living like in a way that's it's out of alignment because it's only you care about yourself. That's it. We should never only care about ourselves. Like people like Jeffrey Epstein that owns a lot of like like what was it islands. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word islands. He owned a lot of islands, and he bought people. He bought people. He like thought that that's not right. That's obviously not right. Everybody deserves to be able to create their own heaven on earth. Everybody deserves to decide what their life wants to look like. No one has the right to do something like that, to take somebody's life and act like you're disposable. You don't really mean that much. It's like I'm buying you, like I'm buying like some like a hairbrush, like I could always buy another one. It's like not even a hairbrush. Sometimes we have a favorite hairbrush that we don't want to get rid of. But you understand what I mean? Something that is insignificant, where we all have magnificence inside of us. We all have spirit inside of us. So it's all about being connected to other people. Now that's the extreme when someone does that, obviously. Most people aren't buying people. But it's still the same with this person that's running around and treating people like they're conquests, like being with 5 and 6 people at a time, not really like forming any emotional bond, knowing that the people that they're connected to are forming bonds with them. This is what makes it bad. And that's why this person has issues. We're going to see if they're going to do anything. I'm only going to pull 3 cards, only because it's always fun just to see what they're going to do. But it doesn't mean take this person back, because clearly they need healing. It's like you might be able to be, that was not part of this deck, as you can see, that they might be able to one day, too many fell out. They one day might be able to come back a little bit differently, but it wouldn't be for years and years. And even then, this is real psychological damage when a person has to go and do that and they think that low of themselves. It means that they pretty much can do nothing to sustain their own emotional well-being. That's what that means. It means that they don't do anything that fills their own cup. Nothing. Their cup is empty otherwise. And that's why we saw needy. Oh, yeah, they totally need healing. That's the issue. They need severe healing. It's like, and so we again try to look at it as exactly that. They need healing. And it's because of everything that they're doing, that they feel so low about themselves that they have no energy. Because again, that root chakra, that fight, flight, freeze, when it's like psychic trauma, makes you exhausted. Emotional trauma makes you exhausted. It's like it drains you of your energy. So this person feels that way through everyday life, dealing with people because of how they feel. So they learned how to navigate their life, but to make themselves feel better. But it's clearly out of balance. It's like, I don't feel well. So, but again, there's no spiritual help. There's no spiritual education. So what has happened is a lot of people have become spiritually sick. And spiritually sick is that. It's that when a person needs all that attention, they need to be the exhibitionist, they need to control people, treat them like their conquest, all to deceive, getting over with the deceiving just to be superior, like it's a disease. It's because the person really feels like there's some, like they're not good enough. I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me. I'm defective. I'm broken. It's from what they were told, from the environment that they grew up in, and then the continuation of those experiences, the same karmic theme of, having abandonment, having betrayal, seeing that, they're have betrayal, the same karmic theme. So it's like, I'm not going to be hurt anymore. That's what this person does. Well, right now, whatever, but this person isn't moving because it's just a no. So it's like, if you're thinking that they were like in remorse, the answer is no. If you think that they're coming back, the answer is no. It's again, if they come back to you, they want to bump into you and create a fight, stagnancy, because they don't want to come back vulnerable. And the thing is, you're not going to tolerate that. It's like, so it's like, that's not going to work for them. Like, they know that you want a partnership. So, and that's really what it is. It's like, that's what the problem is. And I feel like they don't really want to put in the team effort. They don't want to put in the team effort. It may be within 9 to 12 months that this person, you may resurface back into your life. But again, more curious over where you are. So remember how this story started, how we started this reading off? It's a lot of times we don't see that we impacted a person. It's like, I feel like you have impacted this person because you didn't tolerate it. You didn't stick around for it. I feel like this person didn't know, like, if after a certain amount of time, like they thought they had like at least a 50-50 chance that you would like come back. But it's like, no, you didn't come back. So they weren't able to get over on you. And believe me, that made them look at themselves. Yeah, like you influenced them. You influenced them, and they're looking at their self-indulgent behavior. They're looking at the way that they were, like the over the top like behavior, and they really did have over the top energy. But yeah, like it's like they were just resistant. They were just resistant to like the healing. So it's like the first time of healing, I think, when a person has a huge ego, they just don't surrender. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't matter. Like, if, it doesn't matter like what has transpired, even if they know you're their person. This person, again, does not want to seem vulnerable. So that's how we know that they're still like a shadow, because if you really love a person, you're not going to say, oh, my pride, I'm too afraid. The person's still not on your vibration is what that means. However, you're the one that got away, and that this person, again, has a very poor self-esteem. So I believe that the person is going to ruminate on the fact that you got away. They're always going to be curious about what you're doing. They're always going to be, because you showed them really who they are. They knew that you couldn't get over on them. They knew that they couldn't get over on you, rather. So I do believe like they were affected by it. Unfortunately, you're dealing with someone that's very spiritually sick. So we have to say, why did I then attract that? Because that's really the most important thing. Like, why did I attract that? What the hell was a spiritual lesson? The abuse was on the bottom of the deck. Now, abuse can be emotional, psychological, physical. It doesn't need to be physical, but in this picture, the little girl has physical bruises on her, but it doesn't mean that, like, a lot of times it's just So giving too much to this person or hoping that this person was going to fulfill you in some way. And if we were brought up in an environment where there was any type of abuse, then that we would have pieces of ourselves that were fragmented. I mean, real severe trauma creates that because we detach, we disassociate. So it's like we're watching it, but there's pieces of the situation that we forgot. And it's the way that the subconscious mind, the mind protects us. So you don't need to know that. However, we're going to hold on to this in the safety bag in the subconscious mind. So anything that's even irrelevant, like relevant to that energy, we're gonna send out the troops to protect, and that's where the behaviorisms a lot of times come in from. And if you haven't fully integrated and transmuted the energy of being brought up in an environment where there was abuse, well, that's why you pull people to you like this that act like insignificant. So when spirit is already saying, well, it's about giving yourself that love. Self-love is about that. And it doesn't mean just self-care. It means growing yourself, becoming yourself. What do you want to become? What do you want to do? What is, again, to be give and receive of love, as we said in the beginning, it's to become yourself. It's to invest your time in things that inspire you, that you're passionate about. Worlds open up then. That's the whole point. It's that we live many, many lifetimes in one life. There was no joy. Again, obviously, if it was like you grew up in survival mode, there wouldn't be any joy. Joy comes from filling up your own cup. Yes, you can also get that joy from a lot of other different sources. And those sources are going to be friends, family, and relationships, like romantic relationships. So and it needs to be that way. Then this way, when a person like this comes into your life, you can actually see that they're off right from the beginning, right from the get-go. Water. So I always associate water with going with the flow of life, and that's through our unique individuality. That's our passion for life. That's the second chakra, that the second chakra is off, and that's how you perceive yourself. That spirit says, I don't like the way you perceive yourself. And you're like, I think I perceive myself okay. And then spirit says, oh yeah, this person thought that they could be like that to you. What do you think about that? And you're like, yeah, that was unfair. I don't know why that happened. And spirit says, because it's the way that you're looking at yourself. It's again, you're not your broken pieces either. So if you didn't get the emotional love and support, you have to reparent yourself. And that means by doing some self-love. Again, become yourself. You have to discipline yourself to do it. Spirit is saying, it's like you want to show up for yourself. You got to love yourself, because you got to teach people how you want to be treated. You don't say, hey, this is how I want to be treated. No. You say this, you walk that walk. And then this way you can set appropriate boundaries, because you have to teach people. Otherwise they don't know. So spirit says, oh, you were just nice. You just rolled out that red carpet, did you? And said, come on in. I'll set your table and make you feel like a king. It's like spirit says, oh, what the hell is going on here? Are you giving something more to that person than to us? I hope not. The spirit says, because I'm God and I live inside of you, and I'm a jealous God. Me first, and that's through you first. Otherwise, that's abandonment of self. And there's karmic consequences to pay. The universe is coming, and it's coming with a big tax for you. That's pay the karmic debt. Us first. Us first. And it's like, because you need to teach people. And it's not by being mean. It's just by living your life to the fullest. And then someone comes into your life, you have to teach them that their little temper tantrums. Like, again, this person wants to come in and start a fight. Can you imagine? I don't want to just call you. No, that would show too much weakness. I can't do it. See? Ridiculous. Self-sabotaging behavior. Doesn't believe that they're deserving of love. With that type of behavior, you're not. But Spirit says, are you? Because your individuality, that second chakra, is the passion for life. And we get our passion through filling up our own cup. Then we can go with the flow. Doesn't matter what they do, because your choice of focus isn't on what they're doing. It's on where you're going, what you're doing, what you're passionate about, what's happening. The universe is conspiring to come together to bring it all together for you. You don't have to figure out how it's unfolding. You just have to be there and let your intuition guide you. And Spirit says, because if this is a co-creation process, Spirit says, that's how you get your daily bread. That's how you get your money, through your passion for life. This person is like going to drain you. And understand, this energy means lack. This energy means lack of resources, lack of money, lack. And it's then we have to do this, which is passion for life. Birthing something is the actual manifestation, which is the transmutation energy. That's why, again, the sacral chakra is the chakra that we inherit, that we incarnate rather, with all our spiritual blocks into every lifetime. That's second chakra, because you're not your wounds. Spirit says you're not your wounds. You're not what that person said. You're not what you're perceiving that you are. It's like that. It's not that. You're looking in the mirror again. That mirror that's in the card that says objects seem like they're closer. They're not. And that's a funhouse mirror. That's not. It's distorting everything. You see what the wounds do? They distort your perception about yourself and the world around you. So you have to get back to balance. And that's through understanding spiritual law, is that you're connected to the world, you're connected to the body, you're connected to God, you're connected to all things, that you are not separate from God, that you are one, that you have supernatural energy, and you're here to be that expression of love. And that's through your unique individuality, what means something to you. Spirit says, you see, that's missing. That's missing. And you give yourself self-love that way. It was like there's no other ways. There's no individuality. You're not your wounds. You're not that. It's like you're not this. You don't deserve that. It's like this person is showing you. And because we know that. You might have said, I didn't know that they would want running around with all those people. And Spirit says, oh, but did you know what they were coming into your life? How much time that they were giving you? Was the time quality time? Did they seem like they were there when they were with you? Or did it seem like they were kind of checked out? It's all those things that you didn't want to see. And Spirit says, because you said, well, that's love. That's something that's better than nothing. At least it's something. And Spirit says, that's BS. Better than nothing. It's like it's better than nothing. It's like I'd rather have nothing. Because in the nothing, you can imagine what it can be. And it's not just someone draining your energy and keeping you consumed in them. You know, that's what Spirit is saying. It's like, no, there were signs. 2 more. Vulnerability. Obviously, if we're with somebody that's running around and they're teaching us that we cannot be vulnerable. Second chakra in balance. Vulnerability. How vulnerable can I be with you is how much I can trust. If I can't be vulnerable, then I can't be transparent. Then I can't trust you. If I can't trust you, then I'm going to give you more energy than I give myself through rumination. Rumination. You don't need to be giving that person anything. You can be, again, just, I'm like so angry about what they did. It's like, again, so Spirit saying mistrust creates major issues. So it's, again, this is, you have to be able to be vulnerable in your relationships, transparent. That's what relationships are about. It's based on love. So it's, again, this person doesn't want that part. I don't want that part. Yeah, because life doesn't work for you. But if you live that way, life is not going to work for you either. And that's why I said this person's a selfish person. Self-sabotage. So understand, if you were abused, you would also think that you were not deserving of love. And that's what Spirit's saying. It's like giving your attention to this person. This person isn't worth the dirt on your shoe. It's like because they know what they do. That's why. It's that they're conscious. They don't care. It's like self-sabotaging behavior is giving more energy and ruminating, keeping your energy connected to this person. It's like Spirit says, cut the energy. Cut the energy. It's like the person doesn't deserve it. Oh God, how am I going to cut the energy? What am I supposed to do? I don't know what to do. And Spirit always says, start where you are. Start where you are. And it might start with, trust the innate knowledge and insight that you possess. You have the answers. So it might mean doing some shadow work and doing some journaling right now to say, like, why did I attract this person? What would fulfill me? Is to do reframing exercises and to do, like, there's real healing work to be done when you attract this type of person, because it means that you have fragmented pieces. It's not that you're that person or that you were deserving of that person. But what it will mean is that there's a sense of not believing. Empowered soul. Acknowledge what you have already overcome in your life. So it's, again, you did learn from the experiences. And that's also another way of healing, to look at the situations I had, like I made it through that craziness. I made it through, and I still can think, but I came out knowing exactly what I want in a relationship, because I saw what I definitely don't want. It made me become a little bit more picky. It made me value myself more. And in valuing myself more and seeing myself that way, I'm affirming it. And so the universe is going to bring you much better things. However, know that we usually get the same karmic experience a few times, even when you passed it, because the first time that we pass it, there's a lot of anxiety. The second time, there's a little bit less. By the third time that we go through the experience, we're like, yeah, I see it. I don't care. It doesn't affect me at all. So it's about seeing yourself different, going from a place of fear to empowered. So that's what Spirit's saying, is like empowered soul is that it's like, yeah, I lived through it. It was an experience. It added flavor to my life. There was a flavor that I wanted at the time. Hell no. But it's like, but it's still, I can be compassionate now. I can be a lot more clear about what I want and set boundaries. And that makes me a better person. I can then show up better because I have better boundaries. Unshakable faith. Trust fully in yourself, your path, and the universe. That Spirit's saying resilience to perseverance. So again, going through these experiences and being able to persevere, but that's also, again, trust in yourself. And what this is, unshakable faith. Faith in what? Faith in the universe, faith in God. God is the universe. Faith in that energy. Faith that I'm not here by mistake. I'm here by the universe's design. I have purpose. Like, I'm not supposed to fail. God doesn't want me to fail. God actually wants me to have everything that I want. The universe says I can have everything that I want. I need to learn how to be resilient, because, we fall and then we have to get back up. We have to go back out and date. We have to go back out and try it again. We have to, and Spirit says, But that's how you become a master in your life. It was like everybody starts off as a disaster. Everybody has a false perception of who they are because the world tells them who they are. The family, your school, and everybody else. But that's not who you are. Spirit says you get to become who you are. It's like, and never let anyone tell you again who you are, because everything is possible. Everything is a co-creation process, is what Spirit's saying. So remember, you have to have faith, because we look at the outside world and we say, "Oh my God, I'm never going to have enough money. Oh my God, it's like I'm never going to meet somebody. It's impossible." And Spirit says, "Oh, are you doing my job again? You're doing my job." The universe says they're doing my job again. Second chakra imbalance, trying to control everything. Yeah, no, we have to go with the flow, and that's through our unique individuality. Where is it? The universe is saying, "Where is it? I'm coming. I want to see that. I want to see what you're creating for us. What's your contribution to humanity? What's connecting you to humanity? This is how you fill your own cup. This person should have never gotten in. They didn't deserve access. They saw your worth, and they also knew that you didn't see your worth." And that's what that is. You gave too much time, too much attention to somebody that didn't earn it, that wasn't worthy of it. Fierce strength. These are, if you notice, this is all like strong spiritual things that God said, well, you're not seeing, and a lot more things are happening in the spiritual and energetic realm than in the physical realm for you too. And that means, you had to go through the experience. I'm sorry you had to go through it, the universe says, but you didn't know your worth. And it's kind of like insulting to me. I'm inside of you, and you're telling us that this is all that we deserve is broccoli every night. God, it's like, I'm not going to, that's what it was like. And your menu, there wasn't a lot on it. It's like passion for life. There should be a lot of different experiences on there, not just this experience. And Spirit says, yeah, it takes fierce strength. It does. It takes courage. So Spirit says, you don't need to raise your voice to be powerful. Your actions spoke louder than words. And that's what Spirit says is, don't open your mouth when this person comes back. Don't open your mouth. Let them suffer. Meaning, very nice, yes, because they'll want you to talk about what happened, why did you leave, why did you do, and they're going to feed off that energy. Spirit says, don't you dare. Keep your mouth shut. Just say, you left, I didn't even realize you were gone. Oh, I had such a good time in my life. So, thank you for the apology. Thank you for the apology. No, I'm not worried about anything with my life. My life is great. But I really must run. That Spirit says, keep it on the surface, just like them. On the surface. Don't show them anything. Don't show them anything in your face. Don't show them anything. Let them have their anxiety. Let their mind chatter. Let them wonder. It's like that's the hell that they deserve to live in after doing what they've done. Don't give them an ounce. And just keep rising. Keep rising, Spirit says. And the last message is learning to love myself. This is where God says that you need to look at. The universe is saying, choose to see the beauty in yourself. Your wealth lies in your nature and potential. Again, that's where your gifts are. That's again where your passions are. And what that second chakra, Spirit saying that you need to work on. Transform your weaknesses into strengths. And that's by putting energy towards it. Being consistent and disciplined. And that's where the self-love comes in. Spirit saying, I don't care about the bubble bath that you do for yourself. That's self-love. Or again, that you went out and bought yourself an outfit. I want to see, again, this. Taking your weaknesses and putting them into strengths. And that's, everybody has a way of learning. Everyone has a way of doing things their way. Find your unique individuality. Find your style. Find your essence. Spirit's saying, because I need it. That's why you were born, to contribute to the world through that essence. That's what's going to give you unconditional love constantly and balance you out, make you feel connected and rooted to the physical world as well as to the higher self. Because when you're interactive in what you love, your intuition is guiding you. You're living your bliss. You're then thriving. You're not surviving. Spirit says, this energy before, like this person was trying to keep you in a place to survive. It's again like making you feel unworthy, like you don't know. And Spirit says, and that's why it's because you feel you have weaknesses. You feel like you have weaknesses. So instead of, again, ignoring them, give yourself the self love. Realize that you are a being of light and allow yourself to shine. And understand, being with this person, they would never let you shine. They would always put themselves in competition. And it's because of their inadequacies. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm ready to read comments now. Sorry, I can't read at the same time. You can actually, I think again, it's not the Reiki and it's not the healing modalities. It's a life. It's again, still create yourself. So instead of just maybe Reiki's not enough, it's like maybe go and take more classes, do more things to become yourself more so that you can offer more, so that you can, or if you love Reiki that much, then start talking about it, educate your community about it. It's about, Spirit says, I need you to ground. I need you to ground. It's not just about doing the healing work and like that. No, it's about get out there in the world and offer, connect through this, through the heart. This is what I love. I believe in Reiki. I believe in that. See, I don't believe in that Reiki is 100% healing. I believe that it's healing to the stoic body, but then you have to ground. Why are we doing the Reiki? We're doing the Reiki so that we can overcome the anxiety, so that we can ground, so that we can be in our body and give and receive of love by becoming what we love. And that means networking, and that means sharing, and that means connecting. So we don't have time for that person. That's what Spirit is saying. Otherwise, we could do all the healing modalities in the world. It's not going to work. Spirit says, we've come to a place, if you wound up on my channel anyway, you wound up in a place where you're like, I am so ready to start seeing a different result. I want to see something different. I think that, and understand, TM, a person that puts a spell or a curse on you, it will only work if you allow it, if you're open to it. So if you're feeding it and you're thinking about that person and you're ruminating on that person and you're just so hurt, which is a normal response, by the way, the issue is that's creative energy. Taking that pain and transmuting it is essential. Otherwise, that cord will never go away. You'll be like, I feel like I'm still attached to it. Yeah, because you didn't learn the spiritual lesson all the way. So like I said, a hex will only work if you are open to that, if you are focused on it, if you are agreeing to it. And that otherwise then we do it. Yeah, like, and it's normal for us to also have to be in a relationship like that, to be stuck in hermit mode, because it's a way that we want to self-heal, especially if you did grow up with any type of trauma, because you would be used of isolating to deal with that type of betrayal or any problem, and understand that person. I mean, the betrayal just within themselves. I think it's not even younger. Like the person can be younger and then they think that they have a license to do that because, hey, I'm younger. It's like, I'm going to run around and I can do this, but it's about character. You can be a young person and like have good character. This person did not have character. That they were low vibration all across the board. It's like it was all about themselves because of how they felt. And unfortunately, hurt people, and that's this person's hurt. Only, their hurt is they feel like there's something wrong with them. So what they do is they feel like it's okay to make other people feel bad. It's okay. Like someone made them feel bad, so they think it's okay to make everyone feel bad that they come into contact with, because hey, that's my life. And that's, what it is. I didn't even realize you were gone. Totally using that. Yeah, well, yeah, you need to. It's again like Erica, like it's again, I didn't even realize that you were gone. It's like don't give yourself that much power or credit to think that you hold seat at the dinner table. Oh no. It's like you're not there. You didn't earn your place. And that's not being rude. It's I hold to a certain standard. You didn't hold that standard for me. And it's not I'm being snobby, and I think it's called respect. It's like don't waste my time. Don't be disrespectful, and certainly don't put my health in jeopardy. Because you want to run around with six people at a time and think that you're just all that and a bag of chips. You're not paying attention to anyone's health when you're like that. You're just being selfish. And as instead of getting the help that you need, and we see a lot of this and unfortunately it's not like a person until unless you show them up, they don't. And show them up meaning stand your ground, don't give in, like the person in the story did not give in. Well, that's what does it. Oh my god, you moved to another country for him. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like people do a lot of stuff for love. I get it. But it's like if you would have had like a lot of things like going on in the States, you probably wouldn't have moved back. You moved in. You would said, "Oh, this person loves me. I'm going to get the passion. I'm excited. I'm going to have that." And, and so you moved, and that's why it's like that. A lot of highly sensitive people do that. They heal in isolation, but trauma is what creates, like, meaning that there was no parent, there was no one to help you, work through whatever was going on that was bothering you as a child. So that's why that's happened. That's why we tend to, be able to heal in isolation, because we really do it internalize. Virgos internalize all the time. Yeah, it's like he was low vibration, and that's the thing. But it's about you like healing yourself right now and putting your energy into yourself and knowing that just because that happened doesn't mean that can continue to happen. But it's up to you to heal. I mean, it's so much easier to, say than done. But no, if Desperina, like, I mean, as a healer, I would say after being in a relationship like that, like you would need to do like a full heal, integrate your spiritual wounds, but also like recondition your mind. I tell you that it's time to go out and live so you see other people treat you differently. It's about becoming someone different by listening to spiritual material every day. It's about doing like the shadow work and the reflection work. It's about training your nervous system, especially after being with somebody that was like that, a liar, that manipulated and gaslighted, because you don't trust your mind. It's about doing things that will heal you. Everything from somatic healing to breath work to tapping to everything, to do it, to become it, to do it, and to recondition your body and mind. And it's surround yourself with only positive people and just listen to spiritual stuff. A lot of it. I mean, you obviously watch TV and do what you normally do, but listen to a lot of it. A lot of spiritual stuff. First thing in the morning, upon awakening, it always sinks in because you'll catch yourself. You'll catch yourself eventually, like when you're like, oh, I'm so stupid. It's like, no, I'm not. Or like you catch yourself when you're like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm gonna have money. It's like it's like that's not up to me. It's like you have to have faith. You have to remind yourself, we were not taught right. We were not taught right. We were taught to be reliant on ourselves and not like the universe. And that's what's wrong. Yeah, like the breast cancer, like, yeah, thank God you caught it early, but that's why you need to do the healing work. And when you can heal, what you'll see is if you tend to eat a lot of sugary foods or what like to eat bad food, a lot of times your body will start to actually call for foods that are nutritious, like you change. I know I was a 2 pack a day smoker. I was like that person that would open up a Coca-Cola first thing in the morning, like literally for breakfast. I needed that sugar. I had adrenal fatigue. It's like always nervous, fearful. You can heal yourself. But you have to show up for yourself. And remember, like again, you learned. Just being a cancer survivor, you could, you know, walk the walk, teach people like about that walk. But then also, you know, to stay in alignment, you got to eat good, you got to take care of yourself, and you got to live that spiritual walk. How do I go from sensing energy by feeling to receiving direct verbal communication from my higher guides? I feel like what happens is when you do clairsentient a lot, if you're a highly sensitive person, you're clairsentient, it's like, I don't know how I know that. It's like that's what happens over time. You're like, I don't know how I know that. So your spirit guides, like for me, I just talk to the higher self. I don't really even talk to spirit guides, but it's the same thing. It's like you would meditate. You can meditate. You got to get yourself to a place where you're like fully relaxed, open to receiving. See, mediumship is that. So whether you're connecting to like a spirit or you're connected to like the higher self or you're connected to your spirit guides, you're going up to like that spiritual realm. And the way that you would have to do it is very relaxed. It's like you don't have a feeling one way or another about it. It's like, and then what happens is it's just that knowing, that claircognizance comes into play. And it's because we can sense energy through clairsentience. Like we can read that energy. It's like, it's more of a feeling. It comes through as a feeling and then you decipher it. Can't exactly explain is that's what everyone's a sensitive but some of us are really highly sensitive. So we are able to read the energy. And so it's the same way that you would read energy. It's the same way to tap into the higher self, is to get into that relaxed energy because it's not like you're going to hear, sometimes you will hear words. I know when I left my ex-husband, I heard as clear as day to ask somebody, like I was looking for someone to babysit and there was a kid sitting there and I heard ask, but sometimes it doesn't come through as words. Sometimes it goes through as um no, that's good that you don't eat sweets. That's an example though. Like there's a lot of other behaviorisms that go with when you have spiritual blocks. That was for me, the sweets. Some people like salt. Some people, again, don't show up for yourself emotionally, like detached. Yeah, everybody has their poison, unfortunately. And so, but I think that that's like everybody doesn't show up for themselves. There's a behaviorism that goes with that where you don't show up, it comes out in a mannerism, a habit, behaviorism. And that habit and behaviorism is what blocks you. So yes, I mean, part of that was showing up more for that person than yourself taught that person you don't value who you are. It's like, and so you take that knowledge away and say, well, I get angry because a lot of people don't value me. And so then spirit says, well, what do you want your life to look like? So it's not just doing like the healing work, but it's also getting clear about what you want your life to look like, what you want it to, and become it yourself. So if you want to be with someone that travels, travel. If you want to be with someone that, is successful, become successful. It's like when you don't need it, it automatically comes to you because you're not in that energy of nor here nor there. And understand that is another way, TM, that you can tap into your guides. It's through, again, just sensing. When I'm grieving a loss, I tend to not show up for self or self-care, and it delays the process, making sure to show up to the gym consistently. Yeah, that's the thing. And doing enough stuff. When you say gym, right? Which, by the way, in a half an hour, I have to go because I have the gym at 5 o'clock today. But that's going to be the hardest thing too, is to like actually ground, like, because when you have trauma as a kid, a lot of times we go in our head, we internalize. So to actually have to do something physical, oh boy, it's like it's a lot more difficult than it needs to be, you know? And Desperina, I would also say do the silver ultramind method, the ESP system, and you can do that to TM to if you want to tap in with your guides. A lot of mediums teach, how to tap into your guides, but it's all meditation. It's all meditation. But to me, it's like, why do you want to talk to your guides? Because you want information, but you can get that information yourself. You don't really need to tap into anyone. You can tap into your higher self. And I think that that's it's all about balance. What I want to make sure I got everyone. Meditation helped me a lot. But the Silver Ultramind Method ESP system will get you down to that theta, where your mind is able to receive that information. You can check it out through YouTube. Just again, type in the ESP Ultramind system. It's like, and you'll hear there's a little tap, 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 and that tap is what gets you into the subconscious mind. All right, I am going to log off. You guys can talk amongst yourselves until then. Thank you so much for being on and sharing your energies with me. I appreciate you. Don't forget to give me a like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. All right. Bye.